What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Fishing with Sepper episode. Now today we're not going to be doing any fishing, and you might be able to tell from the thumbnail and the title of this video you can't really do any fishing here for a while. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be exploring some creeks and rivers of some places that I usually fish in some of these videos, and we're just going to take a look around and see what kind of damage is and how the streams and rivers kind of rearrange themselves after a big flood like this. So you might be able to see a little bit behind me of some of the rearrangement that happened. I'm going to walk in here a little ways with you. We're going to take a look and see what kind of happened through here. We're going to show you a little bit of downtown where it all flooded out and there's a bunch of damages. This flood really devastated my state. If you don't know, I live in the state of Vermont, and it really damaged a lot of stuff through here, and luckily we got lucky at my home. We did get a little bit of flooding. It did destroy our shed. The stuff in the shed ended up being a little bit okay. There was a little bit of damage, but it started to come up our house, and it ended up being okay. And the damages weren't that bad. So we're going to do a little exploring today. We're going to see what happened around here, and I think that's going to be enough rambling on. I will include some pictures in this video too, but that's enough rambling on. Let's go take a look at some of these creeks and rivers and see what's going on. So we got to be careful walking through some of this stuff. We don't know how soupy it's going to be, but you can just see the utter destruction that came through this creek. And this is just a small creek too. I mean, even the small creeks through here just got decimated, and it just kind of rearranged everything. And I wanted to come to this spot first because if there was a chance we were going to be able to fish, it would be here first before anything else. So you can see just all the log jams, all these big rocks just flushed through here from the sides of roads where the creek follows along the side of it. And you can just see how muddy the water still is, and the creek is still running pretty fast through here. We have a lot of down trees, and you can just see how high the water got. It definitely went up over the road, but you can kind of see on the side of the road where all these rocks came from. So this water was moving fast enough to just absolutely move these massive rocks, which is why I said that a lot of these creeks and rivers would be rearranged, because obviously this builds up and it changes the direction of which way the river is curling, which might make different fishing spots for us. So that's another reason I wanted to come check it out, because we might have some new fishing holes that we have to try when the river goes down. Looks like we have a pretty good jam up down here. And we got to be careful too, because some of these jams will dam up the creek, and eventually it'll give out, just causing a massive flow of water to go right back down again, and can cause some more flooding. So if we can identify some of those, then we can contact someone to come out and slowly get rid of this stuff. Starting to dam up through here a little bit. It even created a little bit of a waterfall here. Now I know that you all have not seen this side of this creek before, but I've done quite a few episodes. Across the road to here, and we're just gonna go take a quick look at the culvert and see if the culvert's intact and the state that that is in. So this spot actually has two culverts, one that's further down this road, which we're not going to check out, but we have one right down here, which I have fished many of times before. We're going to see if this spot got rearranged at all. Probably not going to try to hike down there at all. We don't know if this is going to cause a landslide at all, but you can see it just rushing right through here still. Not too much damage though, surprisingly. Culvert looks to be in good shape. So this will still be a good spot to come back to when the water is really settled down and all that soot has went to the bottom of the creek. But that water is still rushing really fast through here. But that's gonna do it for this spot. We're gonna take a trip and go through some of the other spots. I might stop at some of these places and we'll take a look at some of the damage through some of the buildings through here too. But we'll catch you guys at the next spot and we'll take a look and see what else we got. So I thought I would go ahead and throw the GoPro right on my hat while driving here. We're starting to go into one of the towns where I live, where I know it got pretty decimated by all this water. And this is only one town of the many that really got hit hard with this storm. And it's just gonna be easier for me to just focus on driving and let you all look around at some of the damages here. So that creek we were just at flows into another creek, and that comes right on through here. And we're gonna go over to the right. I don't wanna go too far into downtown. You'll see a lot of trash on the side of the road here because a lot of these people have lost the first floor of their home. And it's really sad to see just how many people have gotten affected by this storm. Just see where the water was going right over the grass there. You can see all the mud in the road just from how high the water got. Some of these people might have been alright with how high it was sitting. It looks like this road is closed, probably got eroded out pretty heavy. So I'm not sure. I think the local landfills will come through here and pick up all this trash for these people. You guys can kind of see down that way a little bit. They got up to their propane tanks over there. And there's already just dumpsters everywhere. People just throwing all their damaged stuff into these dumpsters. Oh yeah, look at how bad this is. So we got a detour here. I mean, they're just running out of resources too. They're throwing up a bunch of old signs, barricades. Water got up over this bridge. Let's see if we can get a shot of the water through here. Let's take a look at all that down there. Just the water just decimating these buildings. It's super sad. And there's just still puddles everywhere. We gotta drive slow through here so we don't get all this water in our truck. You can see the water still up on this building, hasn't even dried yet. The Irving propane. It's gonna be tricky fishing too for a while because I know that a lot of you like the catch and cooks, but we really can't do much catch and cooks here for a while because there's so much gas and heating oil and propane in the water right now, where there's nothing we can really do. We can't eat those fish because there's going to be a lot of contamination in them, and it probably might not even be till next year that I can catch and cook some fish around here. So this is the detour that I have to take, and if I'm not mistaken, I think there was a landslide that happened over here. It looks like they've already cleaned up a lot of the landslide. You can kind of see where the landslide had happened. You can just see how bad it was. That landslide there took out 3 or 4 vehicles that were driving by. I do believe that everyone that was involved in that ended up coming out okay. We're gonna roll the windows up here. And I do believe that there wasn't that many people that lost their lives in this incident. I do know that there is a couple of them, which is really sad. It could have been a lot worse, but you know, obviously keep those families, those people in our hearts that had lost loved ones in this tragedy. Now, for people that don't really know much about Vermont, this is the worst flood that we've had in the last 100 years. We did have a pretty bad flood around 16 years ago that did affect quite a bit of people, but it wasn't as bad and not as much destruction as this one until 100 years ago when there was a really bad ice break that had happened in the rivers through here. Alright, so right now we're in the state capital of where I live. Now they got it really bad here too. Not so much up where I'm driving right now. We're up in a little bit higher of an elevation, so these places really didn't get it too bad, if at all. But as soon as we go down this little hump right here is when things really started to get bad. Now the water down here started to flood out really bad as soon as the reservoirs started to get to the point where it was almost overfilling, and all the dams were starting to break. Now it does look like a lot of people are down here this weekend, just kind of help clean everything up and help those in need. We're gonna take a right and go right into downtown. Oh, it looks like they got it closed. So they had downtown closed off. There's the river that flooded out the Capitol. So it looks like they closed the Capitol. So they pretty much closed all of downtown through this city here, just to allow all the help that they have gotten here today, just allow them to kind of go through and clean up a little bit easier without having to maneuver around traffic. Now, it's hard to imagine, but the water, you can see the bank kind of right here. Now the water was about 4 foot over that bank. Now it's gone down significantly. It was worst around Monday and Tuesday. So since we can't really see downtown right now for the Capitol, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna check out some of our other fishing spots. And we're also going to check out a spot that's kind of close to my home. And we're going to check out to see how bad it got around there. There's a dog park that me and my girlfriend actually take our dogs to. And I'm going to go walk down there, and we're going to see how high the river is still and see what kind of damage has gone on through the dog park. Alright, along this road, there's multiple spots that I used to love to fish down through here. And it's actually part of the same river that flooded out the main city where I live. So, I know that the water here got really high, and especially on this road, it got right up in here, and you can see right there, it destroyed some through there. And the train tracks all through here got decimated. It looks like we can't go any further down this road. I'm gonna at least try to see what's going on down here. I'm just gonna park right here, boys. All right, we're gonna get out and we're gonna walk down this road a little bit. Definitely advise against doing this, but I just kind of want to assess some of the damage through here. I don't know if you guys can see down here, there's still puddles of water, and this is just someone's field. I think if we walk down here a little ways, we can kind of see, we can just kind of see some of the damages on the road. Came all the way up through here, came over across the road here too. So it looks like the town had already brought through, looks like they brought through like a bulldozer and just kind of got back down to the main road. Okay, so this fishing spot here was in one of the episodes. We actually came here to cook up our fish that we had caught somewhere else. And it just looks so much different because it just leveled all this grass through here. You can just see there's still debris floating right down. It's getting caught on that tree. just the amount of trash that's going to be in this river for at least the next couple years. It's going to be pretty rough. And over time, you know, people do float this river and they end up picking up the trash during green up day, which my state does every year. They come through, clean up the sides of the roads with all the trash, and they clean up the rivers a little bit too. But there's certain things that are just too heavy that are just going to be sitting in this river for years to come. And you can actually tell by the trees how high the water got. So if we come over here, we can just see the leaves and all the debris got up to here. So that's about up to my nose. And you can just kind of imagine, just by looking, just going across, how high that water got. It probably got really close. You can see up by this home here, it looks like it has gotten up to there. It just absolutely destroyed a lot of the roads through here. And this river here is not going to go down for at least another couple weeks. We have a lot more rain coming here where I live, so we're hoping it doesn't flood these rivers back out again. But I know a lot of people in the United States have already seen this year that the amount of rainfall that's happening on the eastern United States, it's just caused a lot of problems. And it just doesn't seem like the rain's ever going to stop from the looks of it. But it's just heartbreaking to see all the trash that just keeps flowing down the river here. And it's no one's fault, obviously. I mean, trash is going to end up in the river if it's flooded out. This is heartbreaking to see. But it's just absolutely crazy. We got dump trucks going by. There's putting new fill in everywhere that it destroyed the road. But we're gonna walk on back to the truck now. We're gonna go ahead and head to another spot. I think we're gonna head to the dog park now. I want to go ahead and see what kind of damages we have there. All right, we made it to the final spot. As you can see, they have it ribboned off so that people can't drive down in here. Even though, because some people were, and it just ended up tearing up the parking lot. See, people were walking down in here though. And you can just see how far their footsteps were going down. That's why I got my boots on today. But even the worms here have just ended up dying just from how toxic the water is. You can see just all the oils in the water, which is why I have to wash off my boots when I get home, because this is so toxic down here. You can just kind of smell too. I know you guys can't smell it, but I can just smell oil, and it's just a really weird smell going on to it. So this actually has two softball fields, one right here, one over there. We will be taking a walk over there just to see all the debris in the fence, and you can see it here as well. You can just see all the debris that hit up against that fence. But surprisingly, that fence didn't tip down, but there is a fence that got tipped down over there. And there were some soccer goals that were down here too. You can see that those got washed up over here. And all of this was about 8 foot tall fake bamboo. This was all from the softball field. You can kind of see the greenish color to it. It looks like there's an oil drum right there. It's really soupy through here. Looks like there were some deer that came through here. It just smells horrible down here. Just walking through here really slow. I don't want to sink down like a foot into this mud. Looks like we got some more debris over here. I see something like a bright yellow over here. It looks like it might be a gas can of some sort. A little hard to tell. Yeah, it's hard to tell what it was. It almost looks like a lawnmower seat as well. So over here where these benches are, you can actually see down into the river. We got to be careful that we don't erode the bank and slide in. This used to be all grass, and now it's just inches of this mud just caked right on over top of the grass. And eventually the grass will grow up back through it. And it just looks like it just gets deeper right through here. We gotta be careful. It looks like it's still a little soupy. Not sure how far we'll sink down. There we go. Right through here, it's almost like 8 inches of mud. So there's the river. So this is a different river than what flooded out the city. This river is known for having ginormous brown trout in it. We have caught one of those in a video before. But through this stretch, there's not much brown trout. It's just more of like a dog park, and dogs can come down here and swim. But it just looks so much different. So beforehand, this used to be more towards over on that bank. It would kind of cut around, and it would do kind of like a curve, an S curve, and go down there, but it like straightened right out. It's just straight now. So this river ended up getting changed quite a bit. We'll start walking down this way. You can just see all this mud on this bench. Water overtook these benches, crazy. And the grass is still in contact over there. So this used to be a long path that would go down to a nice beachy area right there, where your dogs could kind of swim through. You can see a cornfield over there. That got decimated. Might come back to life though. Looks like someone walked through here barefooted. That's not too good of an idea, especially with how toxic this mud is. Right here was an even longer path. I don't dare go down it. That goes right down to the water as well. I'm surprised these soccer goals only went this far. I thought they'd be down there with the rest of them. These got destroyed though, as you can see. They just got absolutely destroyed. It looks like these soccer goals stayed in place though. But I only see one bigger one. I don't see any other bigger ones through here. Just that one. I'm trying to get out of this mud. We'll get to this grassy area. It's crazy because I'm just seeing dead worms everywhere. And that's kind of just telling me how toxic this mud is and all the water that came through here. Some more dead worms. Okay, so over here, this was actually a really good swimming hole. And one of my favorite spots to swim at. Because this place is so close to where I live, it was the best spot to come on a nice hot day. Just come take a quick dip with the dogs. But it looks like through here got destroyed pretty heavy. Now I can't remember what this is. This is from a garden. I don't know if some of you could tell me what this is down in the comments below. I think this is this fennel? I think this might be fennel. But it has like a dill kind of look to it at the top. So that must have been from someone's garden at some point in time. Just walk through here. There was another bench that got flipped over. Oh, look at all of this through here. It looks like a tarp. Yeah, it looks like a tarp was under there. Some type of tarp. But a bunch just got washed up in here. You can just see all the debris. Just got washed up, pushed up against these trees. These trees kind of just got leveled from all the debris too. So right here was the really good swimming hole. There's like ledge that's just right over this bank here that's covered by water. And the river is just super high still. This river is probably about 6 or 7 foot higher than it usually is, even after about 5 days of not flooding. So it's still super high. Looks like this tree got some damage. I'm surprised this tree hasn't fallen over. It probably will eventually. Let's go ahead. We're gonna walk back now. I want to go check out the fence that got leveled out. looks pretty soupy through here, so I might not walk through that. I might walk through here though, it might be all right. Through here it looks pretty dry except for this little puddle going across. Bunch of, oh yeah. I can just smell how nasty this water is. I really wish that I could have smells go through the video so you guys could just smell the smell. It's just really, really, really smelly. So you guys can probably already start to see how destroyed this fence got. That fence there actually did okay. But this one here, since the water flows in this way, it just absolutely flattened that fence. It looks like it even pulled one of the posts straight out, and it looks like there's concrete on the base of it. You can just see all the oils in here. Since this is a dog park, dogs probably aren't going to be able to come here for at least 3 to 4 months. Yep, you can see that there's a concrete base on there. It just ripped right out. The rest of these just got flattened. I don't know if they got bent, but all of it just got flattened right on through here. All these posts. The fence literally almost kicked out underneath it. All of that bench got flipped over too. All that electrical there from all these lights probably gonna have to get ripped out. And there was you can kind of see it, there was like a water fountain there. And now that's overflowing with toxic water. So I would say probably about 75% probably. I'd say about 75% of the state right now is on boil notice. So a lot of the grocery stores have pallets of water out right now, just to be able to give your pets, to be able to use for cooking, because no one wants to have to boil all their water. So it's just easier to buy a case of water, use that for cooking. But yeah, as you guys can pretty much see, it just pretty much got destroyed. It's going to take a lot of work to clean everything up. Right now it looks like most of the crews are just focused on downtown, making sure that those businesses can get back up and running, and because that's important for the infrastructure of our city and our state, is to make sure that the local businesses can get back up and running. And then after that, they can kind of focus on things like this and come clean it up. All right guys, that's going to conclude another episode of Fishing with Sepper. I know that there's probably quite a few people that clicked on this that may not be interested in fishing, just came to see the damage of the flood, which that's okay too. But if you have watched this video and you kind of enjoy fishing, I advise you just to drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And turn on that noti bell for next time I upload a fishing video. You can check up some of my previous episodes that I've uploaded. But you never know, you might enjoy some of my content that I put out regularly. So if you think you might enjoy some fishing content, just make sure to drop a sub and stop back by when we can start doing some fishing here again. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll catch you guys whenever we can come back to uploading some fishing. So all right, peace out guys.